It's Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Breaking news. Tonight, Donald Trump just declared economic war on Europe via all caps and a Wi-Fi signal. In a late-night Truth Social tirade, Trump threatened a 50% tariff on all European Union imports starting June 1st, accusing the EU of being created to rip off the United States.
Donald Trump, the president, saying the European Union, which was formed for the primary purpose of taking advantage of the United States on trade, has been very difficult to deal with. There are powerful trade barriers, VAT taxes, ridiculous corporate penalties, non-monetary trade barriers, monetary manipulations, unfair and unjustified lawsuits against American companies, and more have led to a trade deficit with the U.S. of more than $250 billion a year, a number which is totally unacceptable. Our discussions with them are going nowhere. Therefore, I am recommending a straight 50% tariff on the European Union starting June 1st, 2025.
His grievances included value-added taxes, legal attacks on U.S. companies, and mysterious, unfair trade barriers. Translation: Europe didn't kiss the ring, and the markets didn't vibe with this. The Dow immediately dropped 480 points, while European indices nosedived harder than Macron's approval ratings. Frankfurt down 2.5%, Paris down 2.8%, and the Stock 600 took its worst bruising in over a month. And Bitcoin, our digital freedom fighter, just caught a stray. After touching a fresh all-time high yesterday, BTC dropped 3.6% in a single hour post-announcement. It clawed back a bit, now sitting at 108,338, still down 2.5% on the day. I'm Max Volts, and this is Crypto Wars, where even orange coins aren't safe from orange presidents. And while Trump's throwing tariffs like Molotovs, Texas is out here stacking sats. The Lone Star State just stepped deeper into the Bitcoin battleground, and the governors got laser eyes again. On May 22nd, Governor Greg Abbott posted his unofficial stamp of approval for Senate Bill 21, which would establish a strategic Bitcoin reserve for Texas. That's right, state coffers could soon become cold wallets. Abbott, who's been flirting with Bitcoin since 2021, has long promised to make Texas the crypto capital of America. And with this move, he's looking to one-up every other state trying to hodl their way to sovereignty. If signed, Texas would join New Hampshire, whose governor already passed a similar bill, and Arizona, which just authorized seizing unclaimed crypto assets. Meanwhile, D.C. is still fumbling with its hardware wallet. Trump's March executive order to create a national strategic Bitcoin reserve and digital asset stockpile remains in congressional limbo. Senator Cynthia Lummis is pushing the Bitcoin Act, but Congress is too busy babysitting the Genius Act, a stablecoin regulation bill, hoping to vote by Memorial Day. And while Texas is filling up the vault with sats, Wall Street's getting in on the action, one medical device company at a time. Semler Scientific just hit Control S on another $50 million in Bitcoin. And yes, it's still technically a healthcare firm, not a hedge fund in scrubs. Between May 13th and May 22nd, Semler scooped up 455 BTC at an average price of $109,801 per coin, bringing their total stash to a hearty $474 million. That puts them in the top 13 among public companies holding Bitcoin, right up there with the Sailor Cult. I mean, club. How'd they bankroll it? Easy. They dumped 3 million shares through an at-the-market offering and funneled $115 million into the orange abyss. Translation: dilute the stock, fatten the wallet. Let's be honest, Semler's core business hasn't exactly been breathing easy. Revenues are down 44% year over year, and the stock is still down 18% for 2025. But since pivoting to Bitcoin in May 2024, shares are up 53%, outperforming their own pulse oximeters. The message is clear. When in doubt, just Bitcoin it. Who needs fundamentals when you've got sats on the balance sheet? And while Texas is stacking sats and Semler's printing Bitcoin with stethoscopes, guess who's missing the party? Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high, 111,965. But retail investors are still asleep at the wheel. Despite the fireworks, the data says Main Street missed the launch pad. App downloads for Binance, Crypto.com, and Coinbase, all down. Google searches for Bitcoin, flatline. It's like the crowds watching the bull run from the nosebleeds, waiting for a dip or divine permission. Meanwhile, institutions are going full Buffett mode. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have now gobbled up $44.5 billion in lifetime inflows. That's not FOMO, that's tactical accumulation. And here's the kicker. Even the on-chain tea leaves say this run isn't overheated. Funding rates? Warm, not boiling. Leverage? Modest. Long-term hodlers? Unmoved. Whales? Quiet and still, like they're waiting for the real madness to begin. So yeah, Bitcoin's pumping, institutions are feasting, and retail? Still rubbing their eyes. The question isn't whether it's too late. It's whether the real stampede hasn't even started. Something is brewing in Ireland, and for once, it's not just Guinness. It's Bitcoin. The Emerald Isle just dropped a bombshell of its own with the release of a Sound Punt, a grassroots Bitcoin manifesto penned by Bitcoin Network Ireland. The title's a clever nod, part tribute to Ireland's old currency, part wink to the idea that betting on Bitcoin might not be so risky after all. The paper doesn't just preach to the choir. It's written for everyday Irish citizens and skeptical politicians alike. It lays out why Bitcoin matters in plain, unjargon terms. Fixed supply, inflation protection, economic resilience. And it couldn't have come at a better time. Dublin's facing euro debasement, tariffs, and mounting unrest. Over 100,000 people recently took to the streets. The vibes? Recession-era frustration meets 21st century tech, and the momentum's real. This weekend, Aontu, the rising Irish political party, is entertaining not one, but two Bitcoin motions at its national conference. Meanwhile, MMA wildcard turned political wildcard Conor McGregor is still pushing his vision of a national Bitcoin reserve. Not satire, not fiction. Ireland's Bitcoin moment has arrived. Historically, Ireland rejected coinage for centuries. Why? Because coinage gave rulers power. And now, after centuries of monetary colonization, from the British pound to the euro, Bitcoin offers the Irish a chance to finally go stateless again, to embrace money that serves no master. The message is clear. The future of Irish sovereignty may not come from Brussels or London, but from a decentralized ledger. I'm Max Volts, and this is Crypto Wars, beaming in from the trenches of the monetary uprising. We're not backed by fiat sponsors. No corporate leash. No algorithmic bootlicking. We show up because this fight matters, but Signal needs fuel. So grab your digital ammo, subscribe, share, and spread the word like you're storming the central bank. Because in this war, every click is gunpowder. Good night, folks. Stay sovereign and stay spicy.